Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about what new writers miss about the film industry. So who I'm talking to today is writers who are out of film school, they've moved to LA, maybe they are working in the industry, they have a few screenplays done, and now they're entering in that zone of how do I actually get an agent, get a script sold, move into that last stage, which is the hardest stage. And there's a lot of these kinds of writers in LA. LA is full of people who went to film school, have a couple screenplays or have a screenplay. Maybe they are bouncing around industry jobs. They've worked as they've done script reader, they've done assistant jobs, they've maybe done production assistant on a couple different projects. And they're just kind of stuck in that zone and they don't know how to go forward. So a lot of what's happening there is, number one, these writers don't understand leverage. So what's happening is these writers are coming to LA and then suddenly they are fully in network mode. I need somebody to read my story. I need to just meet people. I am looking to see what I can get from other people. And so they are just trying to get anybody to read their screenplay. They are trying to make any possible connection. They are asking anybody who has done anything to go on coffee with them and have a coffee meeting and let them pick their brain and all this sort of stuff. And this is really the wrong way to go about this, because what happens is when you're that person, you're just the guy trying to network and nobody wants to read your stuff. Nobody cares about what you're doing because you haven't given them anything at all. You were only trying to take, you were only trying to ask for help, you were only trying to take 2 hours out of someone's evening to read your screenplay for essentially no reason. And so what you should do instead is you should focus on being an asset to the people around you that can actually help you. So the people that I've seen that actually make serious progress quickly is the people that weren't walking around trying to get somebody to read their screenplay all the time. They were the people that buckled down and focused on actually being an asset to a person or company that they were working with. So, for example, when I was a script reader, for a while, all I was doing was reading screenplays and just doing the work, right? But what I was doing is I was focused heavily on actually doing this work well, and then jumping on other things that this production company needed me to do for them. So I was taking initiative on new tasks. I was reading through stories a lot quicker than some of the other readers there. And what this slowly did was it built some reputation for me that I was actually here to work, that I was competent, and I was not just messing around. And so what this did is then suddenly I was talking to more of the producers. I was able to have those key networking moments and actually generate some connections because I had first, for months, proven that I was here to work and I was competent and I was actually here to help them. And at the end of my time as a script reader, one of the producers at this production company I was working for actually agreed to read a screenplay that I had, and we ended up having an hour-long meeting after he had read it, and he talked about what he felt I should do in regards to fixing the screenplay, as well as how to actually go forward and navigate the industry. And so he gave me all these fantastic tips and gave me all these different great ideas because I had spent the time actually proving to him and to this company that I was here to work, right? And so that's the thing that you don't see a lot in Los Angeles, where people don't want to actually take the time to create longer term relationships. They want to, work a little bit and then ask for something, or work a week and then ask for something. And that mindset is just super damaging. And that's how you get writers who left film school, immediately came to LA, and then a decade goes by and they're still at square one because they are trying to take rather than actually really buckling down and focus on being an asset to other people. Even a friend of mine has risen very quickly in a company that she is working for, and she is now a showrunner's assistant. And the way that she got there was not by asking people all the time to help her, but by being competent, working and actually focusing on that. See, and this is the thing, is that people are just focused on the wrong things. The right things are very simple, right? Once you actually know what the right things to do are and you want to focus on them, then it becomes very simple. The issue is only the fact that sometimes it's a little bit more work than people would prefer to do. So the second big thing that writers don't get about the film industry is they don't understand positioning. So a lot of times writers come into the industry and they have like one screenplay, right? And they kind of think that, okay, I'll get here to Los Angeles, I'll sell this one screenplay, and then suddenly I'll be a professional writer and I will have, all this money and all this time to write and do whatever I want. And that just doesn't ever happen. So really what producers end up looking for is writers who can solve a particular problem for them. So if you are a writer who writes thrillers, you can then be their thriller writer. So you can then sell a thriller to them, as well as writing thrillers on assignment for them, helping them develop new ideas, helping them rewrite stories. That can become a longer term relationship rather than you simply kind of selling one thing. And really, you need more than one screenplay. Like, you absolutely positively need more than one screenplay. Not only because if you sell something, they might ask you for something else, but because you need to be able to transfer your skill set from script to script to script. So a lot of times what happens with writers is they exit film school, they have one screenplay, they come to LA, they get an assistant job, or they're a PA or they are a script reader, and they are just holding on to this one screenplay that they think is like their holy grail, and that is super damaging. Because one, that script is probably pretty bad, and two, you need a backlog. You need a catalog of scripts that people can actually look at and work with, and once you sell one thing, you want to have something behind that to actually move forward. So if you are somebody who has one script right now, start working on that next one. Be involved in working on that next screenplay, something else you could actually bring to somebody that's interested in your first story. And it's all about being able to replicate your own writing skill, right? When you are somebody who has only written one screenplay, you don't actually know if you're a person who can write or if you're a person who wrote one screenplay one time, right? Because those are two different things. Because somebody who can write can replicate their skill from script to script to script to script in all sorts of different scenarios. Versus if you have just written one story, you don't know if you can actually replicate that in another one. And so if you get a rewriting job, or if you get a studio that wants you to make edits on a story that they're working on, or any of that sort of thing, you're not going to know whether or not you can actually perform, because you don't know how to replicate your own writing. And so that's absolutely something that I think you should look out for, because it's all about understanding how, again, it goes back to the first thing of understanding leverage. When you're at the bottom, right, when you are a PA or you're a script reader or this sort of thing, you're still looking for leverage points even then. You are looking for ways to be an asset to these people. You're looking at how can I actually benefit them so that they see me as valuable, and then later on they can help me in the future, right? And that is the trade, right? That is really what you want to do. You don't want to take from them, because then they're not going to help you. What you want to do is trade your competence, your focus, your hard work over a given period of time, and you're trading that for them taking the time to help you in your career. And so that's true at that bottom level when you're first starting out, and it's also true when you're finally in the room trying to get a script sold, because you need to understand what these people want and how you can solve their problem, how you and your screenplay and your skill set can be a solution to a problem that they have, right? And so that's the thing, is that a lot of writers are coming in focused on their career and their ego and all of this. But the way that you actually improve, not only in the film industry, but also generally, is by looking for what other people want and giving it to them. So when you can do that, you can move so much faster. And you need to understand now what producers will want when you're actually at the level where you're sitting in a room pitching and trying to get a script sold. And so these things are simple, they seem simple, but they are super, super important. And it's fascinating the amount of people that aren't applying them and who are so confused as to why they are still floundering at the bottom, not having any sort of traction. They have one screenplay and they keep asking people to read it, and they are bad at every single assistant job or production assistant job or script reader job that they get, and they goof off the whole time, and then they wonder why they're getting nowhere. And so in regards to selling and pitching and understanding what producers want, I've been finding this information by speaking with WGA screenwriter Dominic Morgan, and he is just a wealth of knowledge on understanding how to navigate the industry, how to, cater to producers, how to, actually become a professional in this industry. He also has a YouTube channel. It's called Scriptfella. If you haven't heard of it, he has fantastic videos. I definitely recommend you go check him out. And we have recently started working together on a program that takes these writers who are in those entry-level positions and who maybe have 1 or 2 screenplays done, and actually dramatically improve their screenplays, as well as give them a clear game plan for navigating the industry and achieve their goals. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, if that sounds like that's where you're at, then there's a link below, the top link in the description, where you can schedule a call with me, and we will talk about whether or not you're a good fit to join our program and actually get the skills you need to get that screenplay sell ready and get the industry game plan you need to actually enter into the film industry. So if that sounds interesting to you, link is below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.